If you want to master Asian cooking, then one of the key fundamentals is making good chicken stock. Today we're learning how to make chicken stock two ways. The first is with chicken stock or bouillon powder, which is great for time efficiency, and the second is with chicken bones, which is great for that pure chicken flavor. We'll go through some important details on the ingredients that we're going to use and some common mistakes to avoid. Now, one point to consider is whether there's a difference between Asian chicken stock and Western chicken stock, and more importantly, can they be used interchangeably. While Asian chicken stock is typically clean with a savory base focusing on ingredients such as ginger and scallions, Western chicken stock is typically a bit richer with a mirepoix of celery, carrots and onions and maybe some herbs. So because the styles and ingredients used in both kinds of stocks are quite different, they will produce different results. So if you do end up using Western chicken stock, then just be aware that this could be why your dish doesn't taste just like your favorite takeout. So if you're pressed for time and you won't be making either method that we're learning today, then you'll probably want to get some Asian chicken stock concentrate instead of the Western one. Packaging wise, the Asian one tends to have Asian characters and you'll like the herbs that are used in the West such as parsley, sage and rosemary. Before we make our own chicken stock, let's talk about the most important ingredient, water. As it makes the bulk of the stock, it will have an impact on the taste. If you're using tap water, it should taste neutral, clean and fresh without any strong chlorine, metallic or musty flavors. So if you don't have access to good tap water, then you may want to actually get some good water from the store. The first way to make good chicken stock is easy enough. We're going to get instant chicken stock powder and we're going to infuse it with ginger and scallions. As before, when choosing a chicken stock powder, try to choose one that's Asian. For our ginger and scallions, we're going to use the side of our knife and we're going to give them a good light bash. This will help to break down the cell walls of the ginger and scallions and help to release the flavor and aroma. So to 1 liter of plain water, we'll add 1 teaspoon of the chicken bouillon powder, as well as 2 slices of ginger and 1 scallion. Heat the pot and bring it to a simmer and then wait for 5 minutes. Now every brand of chicken stock powder has different levels of sodium, so taste this as you go along. It's definitely better to under-season than over-season the chicken stock at this stage because we're going to be using them in future recipes such as stir-fries and soup. So because we're going to be seasoning our dish in the future as well, we don't want to over-season it at this stage. Once the stock has cooled down, go ahead and strain out your ginger and scallion and store this in the fridge for up to 3 days or in the freezer for up to 3 months. Now if you have time on your hands, then I highly recommend you try making your chicken stock from scratch. It tastes completely different and it's definitely going to be worth the effort. Here I have 2 chicken carcasses and some extra bones. If you want to add a whole chicken, you can do that as well. Just save the meat and shred it and maybe add it back to the soup or into a salad. Now choosing a chicken here is key. You want to make sure that your chicken is as fresh as it can be. For me, it's really important that the chicken does not have a bad smell, because that odor can infuse into the chicken stock as well. Don't worry, I'll be sharing some tips and tricks on how we can remove any of the bad odors as much as we can. To start, we're going to place the chicken bones into a large pot and completely submerge it in water. Bring this to a hard boil and give it about 3 minutes. Next, you're going to fish out your chicken bones and allow it to cool. Once it's cool enough to handle, then wash it thoroughly under running water. What you want to do is to wash out all the blood and gunk from the chicken. Next, you're going to want to pour away all the water from the pot and scrub it really clean. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because the blood and gunk from the chicken has a very bad odor. So the secret here is if you want a clean and pure tasting stock, then you have to make sure that you don't skip this step. Boiling your chicken and washing all the blood and gunk away is going to help to greatly improve the final product. So add the chicken bones that you've just washed back into the pot and add about 3 liters of water. Now here's another secret, you want to make sure that the water you add is cold. Starting with cold water allows ingredients to heat gradually, extracting flavors slowly and thoroughly, while hot water can shock ingredients and lead to cloudier stock. So by starting with cold water, you still can actually preserve more of the food's natural vitamins and minerals. So what this means for you is that the final product is not only going to taste better, it's going to be healthier for you as well. Now we're also going to add 4 slices of ginger and 2 scallions. As before, use the side of your knife to give it a light bash to help release its flavors. If you're wondering, there is a good reason why you see ginger and scallions used in so many Asian recipes. Of course, they add a beautiful aroma and depth of flavor to our dishes, but another key reason is that they can help to mask the odors or the gamey taste that you have in your food. Now let's talk about temperature control. Bring your soup to a gentle boil and then bring it to a bare simmer. Simmering provides the low and slow environment needed for ingredients to release the flavors gradually. Boiling creates large rapid bubbles that emulsifies fats and proteins into the liquid, making the soup cloudy and greasy. A gentle simmer on the other hand keeps these impurities from mixing, allowing you to skim them off for a clear, professional looking broth. So the surface of your stock should be gently rippling or shimmering rather than churning up large bubbles. In a bare simmer, the liquid should look mostly flat with only a few bubbles every second. Temperature-wise, your stock should be between 82 to 96 degrees Celsius, and there should only be a steady but gentle release of steam. So this is one of the things in life where your patience will be rewarded. So give yourself at least 2 hours to get the best out of your chicken bones. As you go along, if you see any scum rising to the top of your pot, make sure you skim it off. The gunk will affect the taste and aroma of your stock, so you definitely do not want that. Once your chicken stock is ready, you can remove the chicken bones and shred any of the meat that you see. Allow your stock to cool, and once it's ready, you can actually strain out the ginger and scallions and store this in the fridge for about 3 days or in the freezer for up to 3 months. Now let's talk seasoning. The astute viewer would notice that we did not put any salt in this chicken broth that we made from scratch. Unlike the chicken stock that we made from chicken stock powder, which in itself contains some salt and MSG, this stock does not have any sodium at all. So if you tasted this, it will taste unfinished because of the lack of seasoning, and that's what we want, because we want to give this stock the maximum flexibility when we use it later on. If you do want to season this in advance, then you'll be using salt, MSG, sugar, white pepper, light soy sauce, and sesame oil. You have to taste it as you go along because, believe it or not, different salts and soy sauce have different levels of sodium as well. If you want to add more umami to your stock, you can also add dried shrimp or dried scallops. Dried shrimp and dried scallops are packed with natural glutamates and will add a savory complex aroma to your broth. But of course, with everything in cooking, you can develop layers of flavor. Depending on the style of cuisine and your preferences, you also can add other ingredients such as garlic, shiitake mushrooms, and spices. Anyway, you did hear right, I did say add sugar, because adding sugar to Asian cooking is actually quite common. Adding sugar to a dish can actually help to balance flavors and help it become more complex. I'm not going to get into the science behind it in this video, but adding some sugar can actually help to balance out your flavors and provide a more savory, complex experience. Here we have side by side the 2 chicken stocks that we just made, and visually there is a huge difference. The chicken stock we made with the chicken bouillon powder is a light brown hue, just like the powder itself, but the chicken stock that we made with bones from scratch has a deliciously looking yellow hue that just looks so natural. Now let's give it a taste. Now with the ginger and scallions infused, this tastes a lot more rounded, and there's an additional depth of flavor that you won't get if you only use the powder itself. So time well invested. And now for the chicken stock that we made from scratch. You get the taste from the collagen, the minerals from the bone, and you can't get this if you actually use the chicken bouillon powder. You get chicken fat as well, and that adds such a delicious level of flavor. Now time is our biggest asset, so we do have to work within the parameters of what we have. If you're really busy and you can't make chicken stock from scratch, make sure you try to give yourself some time to infuse it with some ginger and scallions when you're using chicken bouillon powder. 5 minutes is all you need. But if you have time to invest, boiling your chicken stock from scratch will make a huge difference.